All right, Larry, we got kind of surprised today with an awesome Secret Lair, man. Like, I love the Universes Beyond. I know some people are getting kind of sick of the Universes Beyond, but I dig this stuff. I don't know how you're feeling. I think you're kind of in the same boat as me.
Right.
I like
I'm down for it.
Yeah, because I mean, we do that with the proxies. I feel like that's why I'm liking it even more, is because then it's really expanding how I want to do proxies, because now I want to pull in all this other, pop culture stuff from our childhood, like Sonic and all that stuff. So we got announced today that will be coming out, hang on, July 14th. Yep. And it is Sonic. So there are 3 drops in this one. They are the typical 30 and 40, except for the new cards, right? That was the thing. I'm on the Wizard site here, so it does say that. Let me pull down here. Oh, wait, I have to get past this drop. The new cards, the new Sonic cards are 50 and 40, which I think is the same when we had like Street Fighter. I'm pretty sure that was the same pricing. The Marvel stuff wasn't. Those were, oh no, they were. I'm looking back on our notes. Those were all 50 and 40. So whenever they do new cards, it seems like they just do the 50 and 40. So, Lowry, should we just get right into it? I kind of did.
Let's do it.
Your part of explaining. There was one.
Read.
There is one other thing. It does say that the new cards will be available, the non-foil versions, in store at your LGSs on August 21st. So if you don't want to buy from the Secret Lair site, you want to go to your store, or you miss out on it, you can still pick up the new cards August 21st at the stores. Probably going to be a lot higher than what you're going to buy on the Secret Lair site, but that is going to be an option there. So, all right, let's start with the new stuff here. So, first things first, here we go. We're going to do this different.
Friends. Oh.
We're not going to do breakpoint on the new stuff because there's no way to really tell the breakpoint. So we're both going to just give a grade of what we think these cards are. And then when we get to the next section, I'll explain what the breakpoint is before we start talking about that. So that's how we'll break it up. All right. All right, go ahead.
All right, the new one for it's Secret Lair X Sonic Friends and Foes. The first one is Super State, which is 7 colorless mana for a legendary enchantment aura enchant creature you control. The enchanted creature has base power and toughness 9/9 and has flying, first strike, trample, and haste. And then, because the haste matters on an enchantment at 7. But whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent.
Well, I mean, if you got like a Birds of Paradise out, and then you did 7 and then got this out,
right?
Boom, you're swinging in for 7.
Right. I mean, this is perfect in your Kobolds deck, where you can cast something for 0 and then drop a 7 drop enchantment on it. I'm being facetious. Like, this is cool as fuck.
This is so good, man. Like, this is ridiculous.
This has that feel of like Eldrazi Conscription.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We're there,
but
same spot.
I almost feel like this is, I feel like this one's better than, Eldrazi. You're wiping 2 things before they even block, and it gets 10+10 and trample. But like, this is one off of that, but it's dealing damage to everybody. You get through to the one player, you're doing 9 points, 9, 18, 27 points of damage potentially if the creature's a 0/1. I'm just picking Birds of Paradise as my target, but really you're probably picking something that's been in play that's already has power, like a decent power and toughness. So this could do a lot of stuff here. So I don't know. Where are you ranking this as far as the grade scale?
Okay. I think the cost is really expensive and prohibitive for. Not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that it is expensive. And so coolness factor, I put it as like an A. I love it. But it's probably playability wise, how many is this going to go into? 1 or 2 decks? Like if it's an aura specific deck, I'm going to use it. And then maybe if it's like,
you're saying 1 or 2 decks of yours, not like
What's that?
You're saying 1 or 2 decks of yours, not overall. It's only going to go in 1 to 2 decks.
Right. I think people are going to jam this in a lot of decks where they shouldn't be. If that makes sense. Kind of like Cauldron Complete. Like, that in itself is 7 mana. It comes down as a full-ass creature. And that's probably in too many decks. And there's, like, a lot of equipment decks, and that makes sense. And this in Aura decks makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
So, like, are we just going flat? Like, do I got to go C, B, or can I say, like, a C+, B-?
You can do the pluses and minuses, because I have one of mine with a plus or a minus.
All right, I'm probably gonna go with like a B-.
Okay, I went with an A. I like it a lot.
You went with it? Yeah, no. I like it too. Yeah. Is that what it's an A because you like it, or is it an A in playability?
I mean, yeah. When you talk about how many decks it's gonna go in, yeah, we're still on theme. Like, that's how we build our decks. So I'm probably in the same boat as you. Is only 1 or 2 decks are gonna get this. Like, I could throw this in Tom Bombadil because it is saga based, but it's enchantment based. So it's gonna benefit. And I throw this on Tom Bombadil, and he's a 5/5. And if I have enough, sagas,
you give him +4/+4 for 7 mana.
Well, no. Oh, it does do the base power. That's a good point.
It's base power, not plus.
That is a good point. That is a good point. So yeah,
like when you were saying, I'm just putting on Birds of Paradise, it is. That's like best.
That's
case
the best
scenario.
case. Yeah, exactly. Because it's
not
just
like
0.
so. Like if your commander's at like 5, 6, 7 power, I'd kind of hesitate. Like it's how big of a boost is it for a commander at that kind of power?
Yeah,
I think it's a lot better in a deck where your commander is 3 or less.
Right. I just caught that as the base power toughness. Still think it's really good. Maybe I might switch that now instead of an A, more to like a B+ or a B, because the 9+9 was like, holy shit, man! You throw that on any 4/4 or 5/5, you're doing 14 damage across the board to everybody. Like that's
for sure
insane. But yeah, no, I mean, it's still, yeah. It might not. I don't know.
You're gonna come down to a B- with me?
No, I'm not coming down to there. You're not. But I'll go to B. I'll go to B. That's my final offer. There we go.
Go to a B. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not a bad deal. It's just expensive. Like if it was +9/+9, I would be happier. Just like with Eldrazi Conscription being +10/+10, like that is a big thing. And much like +9. So like there's that green equipment from B&D set where it's like Belt of Giant Strength or whatever, and it costs a ton to equip, and it makes like the creature's base power and toughness 10/10, and the equip cost is ginormous, but it costs less for as big as your creature already is.
Yeah.
And you're like, but it's not gonna, well, maybe it's +10/+10, but like if your creature's already big, and then the only way you make it equipment is like doubling its power, so like you get a 20/20, but you got to work for it. So like I'm not gonna say this is like that, but it feels kind of like that, where you're working really hard and it's just not that good on a bigger creature.
Yep. It's better on smaller stuff,
right?
Which might be a good thing,
not a bad thing.
Right.
If you're making an enchantress deck, you drop this on one of your enchantresses and they become a threat.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say,
you drop this on one of your dorks, they become a threat.
That's where I was going to go with it. Is like, you throw it on a creature that doesn't really matter. Like if you put this on your big baddie already, and it was the 9+9. Of course, it's easy. Hey, we're going to spot removal that we're going to get rid of this and the crazy creature that we don't like, anyways. Well, now you put it on something that already had like an ETB effect that doesn't matter anymore, like a Reclamation Sage or something like that. Well, now what am I going to kill? The commander that is actually the threat of the game, or this that is actually going to do damage to everybody? So, yeah. Right. So,
and that part is super cool. Like it's a fairly unique. There's not a lot of cards that are gonna like, if this deals damage, all your damage is happening. And Hydra Omnivore continually recovers. That was like a $10+ card before a reprint and commander set. I don't know, maybe something else, but it was reprinted, dropped, and then climbed back up to $4, $5, $6, and then reprinted again. It might go back up. And then you got Kedis that is up to like $5 right now from Commander Legends, and Saskia. Yeah, Saskia's kind of similar to that, only you're picking rather than everybody's getting hit. I mean, it's a fairly unique thing that happens. Colorless allows it to happen anywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really cool card. I give it an A, like you're saying, for what I like.
Right. But overall, yeah. Yep. Okay. Now let's get into the actual, I think everything else is commanders. Yes. Okay. So next one, our first actual commander here.
Knuckles the Echidna. 2 colorless, 2 red, 2/4. Echidna warrior.
You can tell that you've been watching the movies with the kiddos.
The show was great too.
Yeah.
All right. Double strike, trample, haste. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And then it also has at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 30 or more artifacts, you win the game.
I dig it. I mean,
you like this?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's red. You gonna build it?
No, we're not gonna build it.
You're not gonna build Mono Red Knuckles?
No, I'm not gonna build.
Come on. I feel like you could.
I mean, it has a lot of things built in on it. Like it has the win the game factor on it. It has the professional face breaker thing on it. Except it has the double strike, which is really nice. So instead of professional, is just you're normally only getting the 1 treasure off of it. Mm-hmm. This you're getting 2 treasures because you're getting twice. Yeah. I like this more not as the commander but as a 99 is where I'm at with this one. I think it's a really good 99 card.
I think you could build this.
Yeah, but what's your? Are you just building the double strike deck?
Why not?
It's just all double.
Look, I'm just trying to keep you off Sonic. That's.
Well, that might be my plus rating in this.
I know. But yeah, Knuckles is dope. I probably agree with you as in like it's kind of a 99. We already have some cards like you said, professional face breaker. You have Hellkite Tyrant.
So we're mixing cards together. Yeah, and that one's 20. This one's 30.
But you're not stealing like the other one. Like. Yeah. There's kind of mishmashes of things, and those are both really good cards, and this is a really cool card. So like, if you attack and are able to hit
Scott,
one person with Knuckles, you get 2 there, and then if you get 1 in and 1 in, so you got that potential to make 4. Like, is this as good as like a Grim Hireling?
Scott's giving me shit. It is red. It's what you said to me. I mean, you could totally build around this. Just make it a treasure deck. We need more colors though, because
you should. I believe you could build it.
I already have enough on my plate with Sonic.
I'll accept you to change it to red, white, 2 colorless if you want to add in white, because he has a white scarf and gloves.
What? There's green in there too. I see green, a little.
I think that's a reflection of whatever emerald he's reaching for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's green. So red, white, and green. Then I'd do it. Then it's
red, white, green.
Yeah. We'll take the one of the reds out, put that as a green, and then one of the colors is a white. So it's. Yeah. Anyways, okay, great. What's your rating on this?
No, I was just going to ask you this because it's red's your baby, so you get to. Or do you want me to influence?
No, that's all right. I gave it an A. I like this card.
You gave it an A. Like, what's the perspective though? Just overall, are you talking? Because are you giving this an A as a commander?
Commander wise, I probably give this a B minus. Because if it had 2 colors, then it'd move higher for me. But just
I'll go B minus as well.
Just being red
in the 99
is an A. Like I think this is a great card.
It's an A.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't need to be in a deck that it's like professional face breaker. You put that in decks where you're like, oh, I'm lacking on ramp. It's kind of a ramp card. It has haste, so it's going to do its thing right away. Professional does not have haste in it. It has menace, so it's evasive. But this has double strike, trample, and haste. So you're getting 2 treasures off of it.
It's a beater.
Yeah, and it you
like
don't even
this looks good in your
Akiri deck, or your
in a lot of your decks. Honestly, anything that gives him a boost.
Yeah,
like Blanca could potentially be really nice for him.
Yeah,
you're like you said that one. Whatever you just said, words.
Akiri.
Yeah, Akiri. So I think like you got 2 that are easy to put in there. Like this could potentially work in your Magda deck with all the treasures being made.
Man, I don't play Magda anymore. Everybody hates that deck.
You dream about it though.
Who cares? But
so you have this as an A in the 99.
Well, because I play Professional Facebreaker, and this would take over Professional Facebreaker. You know,
this would take over Professional Facebreaker.
Or
I think that's
Oracle.
A legitimate question. I would say no.
It's 1 mana more, and you get 2 treasures off of it, and does this well. Well, he's doing double strike too.
No, I agree that he's better than Professional Facebreaker when it comes to making treasures. But Professional Facebreaker being able to see cards and cast those, that's a huge
That is good.
There.
That is good. But you can win the game with this one. All right. What is your rating on the overall card?
As a 99, I would put this under Professional Facebreaker, and I put Professional Facebreakers at like B+, A-. So I'd put this as like a B.
A B total.
I feel like I think you're looking at this with knuckles shaded sunglasses.
I feel like it's good, man.
I'm glad that you like it a lot, and I think you should build it.
Yeah, right. All right, let's move on to the next one, you douchebags. There we go, Lowry.
All right, Amy Rose, 2 colorless, red and white, 3/3 haste. What is it? Hedgehog warrior. It has haste. Whenever Amy Rose attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to her. Then up to 1 other target attacking creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is Amy Rose's power.
You're first.
I'm first on this one.
Yeah.
I think she's cool. I don't think she's as good as like Captain America.
There's so many better equipment commanders.
Right. I think equipment is it's hard to do at this point because there's a lot.
Scott, get out of here.
It is red.
It is red, and it has white. And it has white. Now we have 2 colors.
You were asking for multiple colors.
Yeah. Can we?
I'll bet you Knuckles would be really good in the Amy Rose deck as well.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I don't like her as a commander.
Agreed.
And the 99, she works well with an equipment deck, I guess. That's where I'm at with it.
If you don't have an equipment deck, I would not be putting this in there.
Yeah.
So it's limited in its playability. If you want to make her then yeah, you're doing that equipment deck thing, and that's cool, and you're doing it. That's kind of about it.
All right. So what are you giving this one?
For its narrowness, I'll put it at like an A in its category, or maybe like a B+. I'm being really chintzy here. How about an A- for the equipment category, but like a C overall, just because it's so narrow?
That's exactly where I put it, at a C. I think this one's a C as well. There we go. I don't see a deck that I would put this in. I don't have an equipment deck. That was my Akiri deck.
I would not put this.
And that's now treasure.
I would have to see if this could fit into Captain America deck. But I like the Captain America deck better.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to the next one. It's going to be one of our longer secret layers because we got new cards and we got to break them down.
Yeah. Dr. Eggman. 2 colorless, blue and a black and a red for 3/6 human scientist. Flying. Yeah. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then each opponent faces a villainous choice. That player discards a card, or you may put a construct, robot, or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Okay. So I think this one's a great idea, except we're talking about constructs, robots, and vehicles.
Yeah. No, but that's super on flavor, right? Like that works for Dr. Eggman.
I mean, I guess that's why it's so brutal. That's a brutal thing. You're getting an extra card. You don't have to do anything. It just needs to be there at the end of your turn. Everybody has to discard. If they don't, then you get to put something out for free. The things that are free there's better constructs. I don't know how many robots are. I didn't look that up. vehicles. I guess this could be your vehicle deck. Well, we talk about Sad Robot, but he's not a robot, so that doesn't even work there.
I think it's a good question.
So you're looking right now. So for me, the idea if it wasn't a construct, robot, and vehicle, I would love this. I love that idea. I'm like, that's an A right there. But because those are just three things that constructs have some decent things, and they're getting better and better vehicles. But that's why I dropped this one down to a B. The idea of it is really good, though. I think that's really good because you're getting card advantage while also giving people disadvantage potentially. And you're just gonna have to build around it. I mean, basically, you're just shoving all those in your deck. Those and protection spells.
I do see why the robots could be pretty cool.
Why is that?
All those flip transformer cards
are robots. Oh,
are robots.
What are they robots on both sides? They must be
on the front side. They are.
Okay, that's all that matters. Yeah,
that's all that matters. And there's so a lot of robots from Transformers, the Fallout, a lot of the Fallout cards.
Okay,
that are robots. But there's only 59, and I did not limit its colors.
Yeah, I got blue,
either.
Black, and red.
Right. So I don't think you're probably like bare bonesing it.
Right.
Like every one that you can fit in there, you do it.
So if I was still on my, hey, I want to build a vehicle commander deck like I was years ago, and then vehicles suck. This would be my commander. But other than that, no, I don't like this one. But okay, so I gave it a B. Where are you at with this one? There's some cool constructs, though. I know
there are.
There's
a lot of the modular cards are constructs. Other than that, like I'm not super in love with like some like Mirror Battlesphere. I think is a construct. It might just be a mirror construct. I don't know.
We'll find out in a little bit because that's below.
You know what? For me, this is a C. Just because I do think it's unless you're mixing everything together, that's fine too. That probably makes it a much better deck instead of trying to fit to one or the other. Like, Kalia the Vast gets a lot better if you're like doing the best dragons, demons, and angels instead of going, this is an angel Kalia deck. You know what I mean? Like, so
use all the best cards for each one of the categories. And
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with a B. I was gonna say
C.
I'm gonna go B.
You brought me down with the super state, and then I brought you up for Dr. Eggman.
Right. Balance.
There we go. Okay, let's go on to Tails here.
Miles, Tails, Prower. All right. Yeah. 1 in a white and a blue for a 3/1 Fox Artificer. Flash, flying. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, draw a card. If it has flying. Otherwise, put a flying counter on it.
Hey, it's another vehicle. What color is this? Nope, doesn't even work in that deck. I was like, oh, would have been nice with that. I believe this is on you to figure out here.
Is it? I'm a basically you got to jam every vehicle with flying in here. That's probably what I would do. And being forced into vehicles sounds terrible. I put this cool card. I love it as a Sonic card, but it's a C for me. Like, there's no way I'm building this.
That's exactly what I put it at, a C. Yeah,
and it's unlikely to be in the 99. So if you're not building with it, you're unlikely to play with it.
Because you're limiting yourself also, like, if you're just trying to get the draw advantage by, I'm playing a flying vehicle, there's a lot of good vehicles. Not a lot. There's an okay amount of vehicles, but they aren't flying. Like, you're not going to not put those in there, and I guess they get a flying counter. I mean, how much does that really matter? You're going to really build around. But as a 99 in your already vehicle deck, like from Kamigawa, the one commander that makes the dude, like, that would work. This would be fantastic in that. You pop that in there. Now all your vehicles are getting flying, but it doesn't have red. Skip it, Scott says. But right. We're both in the same spot here, so both of us are a C on Mr. Tails. And we got 2 left here. Now, I read this one wrong earlier, and you corrected me on the Discord. So we'll go ahead and read it.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Black, black, red, red, 4/2. Hedgehog mercenary. It has haste. Whenever Shadow or another creature you control with flash or haste dies, draw a card. And then each spell you cast has split second if mana from an artifact was spent to cast it. And split second is basically it ends the stack. Nobody can react to it when it comes to an activated ability or casting spells.
So basically, it can't be countered whenever you cast a spell with an artifact.
That's essentially it. But also, like, it can stop that heroic intervention or Teferi's protection bullshit. Kind of like if they're trying to protect a creature,
right? If you had, you're saying if you had an instant spell on top of it, like the heroic intervention, and you cast.
No. So like if you're
doing
kill
a board
your creature and you want to cast,
heroic
intervention, that would stop you from protecting your creature.
Oh, back Esteban said there's only
11 vehicles flying. Oh, Tails is in trouble, I think.
And did you even cross reference, are some of those a color that isn't white or blue?
Yeah, that's a good question too.
I don't know. So my where I messed up with this one is I was thinking the split second just gave it instant speed. So I was like, oh, you could cast your stuff at anybody's turn. I was like, no,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, but still, the split second's nice. Like, you don't have to worry about when you cast something, in response, I'm going to do this. It's like, nope, you have to wait until this is fully cast. It kind of has protection of itself because if they kill it, you're drawing cards. And I would say this is your good, like, haste commander. And I guess flash commanders. So anything that has flash or haste, if it dies, I don't know. This would be an interesting to build around because you do a lot of mono rocks, obviously, so you can get the split second. But then are you just playing a bunch of haste and flash stuff and then have a sack outlet so you can draw off of them? You know what I'm saying? It's in black, so you're able to do that. It's not white, so you're not getting aristocrats, but black and red.
There's
doable.
Plenty of sack outlets to choose from there, along with like creatures dying triggers.
Mm-hmm.
But then, okay, so what would you need to do to make this really good?
Yeah, what are we?
If you have cards that give haste like all the time, so then all your creatures, when they die, so you kind of, I don't know if I'd want a packet full of just haste creatures, if that's makes sense.
Because it's like the other, we're talking about the vehicles and stuff like that, or you're limiting yourself.
There's at least enough hasty creatures in black and red that it could work. There's more options, but I think you're going to be limited in like your draw or your ramp, or there's a lot of things that you need to fill out a deck, and haste is like one of them.
Yeah,
and like the least important of them. And so like a lot of those creatures are just like 2/2 haste and does something on attack, or you can pump it, but it's not giving you mana. It's not really drawing you cards other than if it dies with shadow on the field. There's not a lot of removal plus haste. Like, you're limited in your utility in what you're doing there. So I'd probably go with, cards that give everything you have haste. And so that you're kind of covering your bases.
It is interesting that it has the flash part, because that isn't normally in this color, these two colors.
Right.
So it's like, how often are we going to see, like, if they would have thrown in blue, but that, whatever. It's interesting because it's like you got a flash commander finally, but it doesn't have it.
And the problem there on the opposite side is that there isn't anything that gives cards in your hand flash. So like there is Vidalcan Orrery or Leyline of Anticipation, but those allow you to cast cards like they had flash, not that they do have flash.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does not work or count in that regard for Vidalcan Orrery. So like that's not necessarily going to be a good card for you.
Yeah, you're mostly focused on the haste on this guy.
Right. And so I don't know what creatures in red and black have flash. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't search it up right now because I'm on this.
That's a good point.
Overall, I gave this one a B. I think it's an interesting card in itself, and I don't think I think if our play group did a lot more counterspell type of things, I would have this higher. But since our meta does not, this one won't be used as much in our play group, so that's why I dropped it to a B. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit higher. Where are you at with the rating on this?
I'll agree with you. It'd be higher if we had more counter spells and stuff in our group, but I'm cool with a B. There are no red or black cards at all with flash.
So you're just talking artifacts basically at that point.
Yeah, but they'd have to be creatures, right?
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Okay. Last card. Oh, the big dog. The big dog. There's a Sega comes in basically here with
Mr.
Sonic
the Hedgehog. 1 and a blue and a red and a white for 2/4 Hedgehog Warrior. It has haste. Whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, it gets a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with flash or haste. Whenever a creature you control with a flash or haste deals damage, create a tapped treasure token.
This is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
We were just talking about flash and haste, and this is the right colors to be able to do that. You got blue in there, you got white in there. You got stuff that this is actually going to work with this dude. And then you have red for the hasty stuff. So this is the commander right here, and
right. This is the part of the utility that has red.
And it has red.
Scott, don't encourage him. Yeah. I'm trying to talk him.
Scott knows what's going on.
Like the nice thing about this here is like for Sonic here, the utility is in getting your treasure tokens, and the utility for what's his nuts is split second.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like guarantees a removal spell essentially. And that's about it. Or I guess you can't counterspell things like
the thing is
Sonic's just a lot better.
There's so many things you can do with Sonic here. Like not only can you with those creatures that have flash or haste that you're like, I mean, that's what you're building around or whatever, or giving everything flash or haste. But here's the thing. You could do self damage and just freaking pile on with your doing your pyrohemia, 1 damage to all your creatures. Boom, 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 boom. Treasure, treasure, treasure. Sonic gets hit, or no, it's attacks. Everybody gets a counter. So you can make this just fill up with treasure. You have all these creatures on the battlefield. You just do 1 pyrohemia damage, and now you have like 30 treasures. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, this could be sick. This could be really sick. Or you're just swinging in, and then people are like, well, if I block, then you get treasure. But if I let it just go through, then I take damage, So I think this one's really good. I like this one a lot. But
I think it's really good too.
Where
you could kind of treat it like your Daryl deck also, and just like attack, and as long as it has more than 2 toughness, you cast those instant speed, deal 2 damage to everything, half-ass wipe the board, get a ton of treasures, be able to do something else with that. Like that seems crazy. Yeah, I like Pyrohemia is obviously the best one out of this because it's like in Rage,
right?
It's really good.
Where you get to rate this one first. What do you got this?
This is an A+.
Yeah, that's what I got too. We got too many similar on here.
Yeah, this is an A+.
And just so you guys know, we didn't know each other's ratings because it was Lowry got on like 3 minutes before we got on here, and I was like, we're just doing a rating system because they're all new cards, so there's no way. So I think we were only off on like 2 of them, but everything else we were pretty similar. So so this drop, I'm just gonna say is a just this one because we got 2 more to talk about that are repeat cards. Just reprints here. This is one of the better ones. I mean, we got a lot of good cards in here, a lot of good commanders. So definitely going to go in on this one. You going to buy this one, you think?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sure. Let's talk about some of the before we go into the new card or the reprints. So just so you guys know, when we talk about breakpoints, when we give a number, it's a breakpoint 2 or a breakpoint 3. What that means is that's how many of that drop you need to buy in order to get one free. So it's basically the break point of when you're going to start making a profit and keeping one for yourself. So I kind of break that all down with the taking away shipping and selling fees and all that stuff. Typical mature timing for this stuff, it takes probably 10 to 16 months for things to get to what the numbers I'm talking about. Don't get FOMO. I am warning everybody every single time. Don't get the FOMO if this sells out and you missed out, because you just wait until it gets in people's hands and the prices will tank. Even new cards. I'm using this from moving forward for a while until I update it. But Deadpool, for example, when everybody got Deadpool in their hands, you could have bought every single one of those cards for cheaper than what the drop was in foil. So the foil was 50 or 40. I have to look back. But you could have got, I think it was $5. You would have saved yourself $5 if you bought the singles once people got them in hand. So don't get FOMO. If you miss out on the drop, the world is not ending. Don't get all pissy. Wait for the singles to drop, because the prices are going to drop once people give them in hand. All right, that being said, let's move on and talk about the last two drops. First one is Sonic Turbo Gear. And these are 30 and 40. So 30 for the non-foil, 40 for the foils.
Turbo Gear. All right. Knuckles Glove, which is the Reaver Cleaver. I think it's dope. That's great art. Just the glove.
Yep.
2 spikes.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Yep.
And then you have Air Shoes, which is Swiftfoot boots. Fucking awesome. I love it.
We haven't had a specific Secret Lair drop of this. We've had this as the bonus card. It was in the invention, not the invention, like the the invention where it's the mechanical thing that they did. You know those bonus drops where they had that, where it was more of I think it was during the Dominaria ones where it was the sketches. You get what I'm talking about?
Okay. I don't really remember it. I don't think I got it.
Because they had Ivory Tower, they had Eldrazi Monument.
Oh, that's not a Secret Lair though.
No, but it was the bonus cards in the Secret Lairs that you could get. It had Ornithopter and all that stuff. They were only for the Secret Lair, but you couldn't buy the Secret Lair to get it. It had to be one of the rare.
It was full art.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Eldrazi Monument.
Yep. Eldrazi Monument
was one of them.
Yep.
That's the one I got out of that.
Panharmonicon and Swiftfoot Boots was one of them. So this is the first time we're seeing a Secret Lair specific that you could actually buy. So I dig this art there. Cool. You were just talking about this card earlier.
Egg Hammer, which is Mirror Battlesphere. It is a construct. Look at that.
There we go.
So your biggest mirror is that's dope.
Yep, fits in there.
Super cheap, but whatever. And then Pico Hammer, which is Hammer of Nazan, which is
that's a good one right there.
4 mana, comes in, free equip, indestructible.
Yeah.
That's also really cool. And then Lightning Greaves in the same one with Swiftfoot Boots. Also love it.
Yep. 6. This is the 7th time this is getting Secret Lair printing.
That's true.
And it's still way up there in price. All the Secret Lair ones are up there.
And then you have Weatherlight, which is Tails' plane.
Tornado Sonic's biplane.
That's what it is.
And then the token.
Egg Pawn, Mirror Token.
Yep. So this drop is really good because you got Reaver Cleaver, you got Swiftfoot, you have Hammer of Nazan, and you have Lightning Greaves as the main dogs in this. The Weatherlight, the Mirror Token, and Mirror Battlesphere are all just, they're going to be cheap. But those 4, you got 4 cards that are, at least in non-foil side of things, 15 to 20 each for those. In foil side of things, you're ranging from 20 to 30 plus for each of those 4 cards. So let's talk about the non. I'm going to say this. I like the Lightning Greaves art, but I think I like the Swiftfoot Boots art better because of there's so much more going on. You can see the background of the track that he's on and all that stuff. I like the Swiftfoot Boots in this better. But anyways, non-foil side of things, you have $85 before fees. After fees brings you down to $68. So what that means is you buy 2 of these, it pays for one of them. $68. This costs $30. Foil side of things, $125 after fees brings you down to $92. Again, we are at a break point of 2. So this break point 2 is the best you really can get unless you're getting doubles of things. with some of those basic lands. You do get that sometimes, but this is a really good drop. So that is one I will definitely be picking up. And then the last one here is Chasing Adventure. Lowry, go ahead.
I might have missed this one. Okay, Chasing Adventure. The first one we're going to talk about is Generous Gift. You got a pink elephant. I don't know the reference.
I don't know what it is.
I'm hoping.
I don't either.
That its name is Adventure.
Do I need a reason to want to help out a friend? I'm guessing I thought I knew Sonic, but I don't know the elephant part. But anyway,
there's so many games now. Yeah, there's a whole crew.
Yeah, and that's what this one's supposed to be. Is this one's they're the friends of Sonic basically.
Yeah. Open the armory. I can dig the art with Amy chasing the hammer, but going and get the aura equipment. Next one is Fabricate, going and getting an artifact into your hand. I dig it. Then you have Deadly Disputes,
which we literally just got this in the last drop with Frank Frazetta. It's just like back to back.
I do like that art, but
yeah, that one's good. And
like you're saying, Unexpected Windfall. Do we have a rare yet?
Nope. And then the last one.
And them motherfuckers got us with a soul ring.
They did. They did. Oh, this isn't the last
one. That's a gorgeous looking soul ring.
This is the second to last one because we do have a token that fits in more. So it's the Sonic Soul Ring. It's one of the better ones out there. Yeah, I know. And then you get that treasure, which is the rings.
Yeah, that makes sense to have it being a ring as well. Yeah.
I was thinking, why wasn't this the soul ring, but having this as the treasure? I like that. That makes sense. More sense.
That's kind of how I saw it, as like when everybody got hit and it made a bunch of treasures. I was like, oh, that makes sense for the ring.
Yeah,
because you get hit and then you drop all your rings and shit.
Yeah. Okay, so
can I just look at that soul ring as you're doing that?
So soul ring is your big dog, and that's really what we're going to base this around because good. We talked about this before in the last the one that's currently going on. The charity one that is going on. I'll just say this: the good soul rings, the really sexy ones, will go for 40 plus. The decent ones are 30, and then that's pretty much. I mean, you get down to 20 when you're in your non-foils. This one might be up higher than what I'm estimating. I'm saying on the low end. I'm saying 20 for the non-foil, 30 plus for the foil. When we take that all in with how many cards, the nice thing is we have a lot of cards in this drop. Even all the little stuff adds up. So the non-foil side of things brings us to 62, after fees 49. So it's still a breakpoint 3. That's a good number. And on the foil side of things, 99 brings you down to 77 after fees. And that's also a breakpoint 3. This one's tough, man. Like, I like this one, but I don't want to go super deep on it because you really... I use Unexpected Windfall. I don't use that Deadly Dispute. I don't use Fabricate. I don't use Open the Armory. And sometimes I use Generous Gift. So really it's 2 cards for me in this. I guess the Treasure too that I actually use in deck. So, okay, really quick. What are you going to buy out of these 3? I would say one, the one spec we do, but we're not going to do that because there's only 3. Of course, you're going to buy the first one because it's all new cards. Are you going to buy both the other 2, the reprints of these?
Okay, so in my mind, I'm questionable on this one. That soul ring is gorgeous, and it might get me to buy it. And I might just be, I have a little bit of time to just be happy and not get this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new cards, I would probably, I'm thinking 1 or 2 of them. Probably just 1 because it's going to be sold in stores later, non-foil. So there's just a better potential to pick up a little bit cheaper.
The singles later is what you're saying.
And I like that second one with Reaver Cleaver.
Yeah, that one's really good. It is so many good staples in that one.
I might just be like, I'm going to get all 3, just get all the Sonic things. We might not get Sonic again. I remember really enjoying it. Sleepovers, we'd play Sonic 2 on the Sega, Genesis down in a buddy's basement. Like,
this is the only video game
I have
that
some good memories with Sonic. I love the movies.
The movies, so much they did fun. A good job with that.
So
This is the
I
only.
like it. I might just get all 3.
This is the only video game that Cindy has beaten me on.
Oh yeah.
Because that was the only game she played growing up, like as a kid. Like she, for some reason, had a Sega, and it was Sonic. That's all she played. So back in the day, early in our relationship, we went 1-on-1, and she kicked my ass. And I was like, God damn it, let's go play games I know how to play. Yeah, I'm all on board. I'm probably gonna go deep on the second one with the equipment stuff. And the new stuff with all that with foils. So these are all great buys. I mean, it's Sonic, bring back our childhood stuff. I freaking love that stuff. So, all right, let us know which ones you guys are going to pick up, or any at all. You're going to do the bundle, or you're going to get everything. You're going to get go deep on certain ones over the others. Which ones you guys think are good, or are you just going to skip it all together? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you slap that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, CommanderSmiths.com, where we have metal tokens, mugs, t-shirts, playmats, and more.